Welcome back. Last episode we managed to build a fusion reactor and now it is time to put it to good use. The first thing we are going to do is dilithium. We can obtain it in dust form with our new machine, but that requires deuterium. To get that, we are going to centrifuge semi-heavy water, heavy water and tritiated water from normal water. And that has an awful yield. The semi-heavy water can be centrifuged again into heavy and tritiated water. We can finally electrolyze these two kinds of water into deuterium and tritium. However, this setup is awfully slow, since we have some stone dust that hasn't been used since when we got it as a byproduct of the xenon production. We shall also centrifuge that for some deuterium. And this was probably a better way to get deuterium to start off. Once we have stocked a bit, we also get some molten lithium and we can finally feed that to our fusion reactor. Once the fluids reach the core, it will start charging up. And once it is charged, it will start producing bugs. To get better information on what could have gone wrong, we quickly craft what GTNH calls tricorder. But that didn't give us any useful info. We can't even see the charge level. Anyways, after restarting the save, we have successfully managed to produce the dilithium dust, which we quickly turn into crystals. The first usage we have for that is a pair of sensors to better analyze planets. To make use of these, we have to place them into a satellite, which we shall take, and, of course, place into a new rocket that can bring it into orbit. And once everything is ready, we can send them into space. Now we can gather composition and mass data, which, for the moment, we are going to use for boosting our mining operations. Also, we can use dilithium for a pair of lenses which will make crafting asteroid locators easier. To move on with the quest, we shall prepare a bunch of blocks, which we quickly craft. However, to use these, we need a space station. So, we slowly build and then assemble one. After a long process, we have managed to put into a box, which, of course, we place into yet another rocket and send into space. Luckily they are cheap and E2 makes them. Next, we shall also take off too, so that we can reach the stuff we just sent into space. And after a long travel, here we are, into our freshly built space station. Now we can add a warp controller and a warp core to turn it into a spaceship. All we have left to do is to try to put the fuel inside the core. And, of course, we have to wrestle with the ore dictionary and gravity to manage to put the correct version of dilithium crystals inside the core. Now it turned on. And we can finally start traveling space to reach the first destination, HD. And after a long travel, we are orbiting on the planet that is not in 4K. To descend on it, we shall build a rocket. And off we go. We quickly gather a bit of rocks so that we can complete the quest. Before looking for its peculiarities, we shall also set teleportation points on the other planets, like Venus, not to confuse with the Solar System one. Draconer, which should have some useful materials, such as draconium. Hopefully. And Indist, which is probably where our weird planet's trip will end.